attending today, and we're going to have our annual general membership meeting and election of new officers. First, I want to introduce all the officers who are here today. I'll start with Gil Wright. He's the Vice President of Region 2. And then Jolie Lucas, Vice President of Region 4. And Region 5 is Ed Story. And Region 6 Vice President is Gary Shank. Hi, Gary. And then we have Directors at Large. Directors at Large, Paul Marshall. He's a Director at Large for Region 1. I think you've met Paul. And Andy Wilson is Director at Large for Region 3. Karen Kahn is Director at Large for Region 4. Hi, Karen. Peter Albies is not here today. He's the Director at Large for Region 5. Bill Sanders is the Director at Large for Region 6. He'll be here shortly. Also, we have the Treasurer, Walt Wells. Hi, Walt. And we have Charlene Fulton, who is not able to be with us today. She's the Secretary Administrative Person. We have two newish board members. That is Doug Rice, Vice President for Region 3. He's not with us today because it's his birthday. And then we have Maurice Gunderson. He's the new Director at Large for Region 2. So Maurice and Doug Rice need to be re-elected or officially elected because they were only appointed to fill vacancies. And so we'll come back to that in a minute. I just wanted to introduce everyone. And then when we have our attorney, our counsel, that is Carl Schweikert. So we're going to discuss the current board positions currently open. And that is Region 1 Vice President. We have someone who has expressed an interest in serving. I don't know if he's here right now. Is Patrick here? Or we can't see other people now. Is that right?
Let me see if I can find Patrick.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
So, and then, as I said, Doug isn't here, but Maurice is. And
so we have Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
He's probably restarting his video while he goes from attendee to panelist.
Right.
I can hear you all.
Oh, good. Hi, Patrick. So Patrick is from Reading, and he has expressed an interest in serving and will be nominated from the floor shortly. And also, Paul has decided he wants to run for re-election now rather than he wants to avoid the rush. So he's nominated this year too. So let's see. So we have this slate of candidates, and that is Patrick Wallner, who I believe will be nominated. Is someone going to nominate him?
Yeah, this is Gil Wright. I will nominate Patrick for the position in District 1. I think he brings some exceptional skills, unique abilities, plus also a very current issue about there's a pending project to build a very large wind farm up in the Reading area that we definitely need to help get on top of, because some of these windmills are going to be somewhere between 500 to 600 feet AGL, and we need to protect that airspace.
Thank you. Is there a second? Andy?
I'll second, Andy.
Thank you. And then we have 3 minutes. If Patrick, you would like to say just a brief word about joining us.
Sure. Thank you, Carol and Andy and Gil for nominating me. What brought me to CalPilots was the fact that we have a windmill project just about 30 miles east of town here, northeast of town, that has windmills up to well over 600 feet from the ground level. There's existing windmills up there, but going over the draft environmental impact report, there was really nothing under the hazards or any pilot input. So we've been I worked with the airport manager, who, as soon as he got new on the job or was hired, I made a point to go meet him because of my involvement. I've got an aircraft station there, air show work that we've done over the years, and he referred me over to Carol, and it's just kind of the timing and everything seemed kind of weird and a coincidence, but it really worked for the better. I am have some experience as a county planning commissioner, so I do read in depth and get into the weeds on these things, and I'm really excited. This is like when I first got involved with my state trade association, and I've got involved heavily on the state and national level with regulatory affairs and legislation. And so I promise you I won't let you down. And I'm really excited to be able to offer my services to the industry. And I've done a little bit of legwork the last couple of days, and I've gotten commitment for rejoining from some old members, including Jim Bremer, who won the sunglasses. And I congratulated him on that just recently. And working on starting a chapter, and we'll talk about that after the meeting.
Thank you.
I've been invited to speak at the EAA meeting next week, where we'll bring up the wind project and encourage those in attendance to make public comment on the draft EIR.
Thank you,
Anybody have
Patrick.
any questions? Thank you.
And then, well, we usually let the people have 3 minutes to discuss. So Doug isn't here. I'll tell you a little bit about him. He is a quickly retiring airline captain, so he has more time to help us. He has been flying. He has about 29,000 hours, and he has been on our board before. He was the executive vice president previously, and he took a little hiatus, and he's willing to come back. And he has a lot of expertise. He's been on airport commissions and the I believe the airport land use committee too. So he'll be a valuable remember of the board. And then we have Paul Marshall, Director at Large for Region 1. Would you like to say a few words, Paul?
Sure. It's an honor to be serving CalPilots and to bring the CalDART program into the CalPilots. We've had a real busy year that we'll talk about, but I think it's really important for the pilots in California to be organized and to be organized at the local, state, and national level. So I'm just so pleased that we have a CalPilots organization that we can all support.
Thank you. And Maurice, you're nominated for Director at Large in Region 2. Would you like to make some comments, please?
Sure, Carol. Thanks very much, everyone. A pleasure to be here. I've been a pilot pretty much my adult life. I learned to fly in the Oregon State University Flying Club approximately 100 years ago. And I've been a member of the Contra Costa County Airport Land Use Commission for 3 years. And I'm now chairman of the Contra Costa County Aviation Advisory Committee, past president of the Mount Diablo Pilots Association, and I am the AOPA Airport Support Network person for Buchanan Field in Concord. And I've had a career in aerospace engineering, started several companies, and 25 years ago went into the venture capital field and have been on numerous startup boards in the energy and transportation sectors. And been a follower and a member of CalPilots for a long, long time, and happy to get involved.
Good. So, Carl, if you're here with our slate, should we? How should we have the vote? How do you want to run that?
Let me get just good enough.
Sorry, mouse is a challenge with 3 windows going.
Yeah.
I have to have my laptop open for the web screen that I don't know. Well, so we have a slate of 3 members.
Four.
4 members. Has anyone expressed in chat a desire to run for one of these positions from the floor?
I haven't heard any.
I have not seen it either. And so now what I'm going to ask people to do for the attendees, and we would like the attendees who are CalPilots members at this time to go on your Zoom screen and go down to the chat little bubble and click on that. And you should be able to send a message to all of the panelists that are there. If you could please express your vote in favor or against those proposed, the current nominees for positions on CalPilots board, we will record your vote and then be able to.
Should I repeat them?
Well, why don't we put, no, I think you can repeat them verbally if you'd like, but people are already voting in favor of all, so I think.
Okay, just for those who need a repetition, Patrick Wallner for the vacant position of Vice President for Region 1, Doug Rice, Vice President Region 3, Paul Marshall, Director at Large Region 1, and Maurice Gunderson, Director at Large for Region 2. Lots of votes are coming in. That's wonderful.
Lots of votes, yep.
Well,
So
maybe.
I think, Carol, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you discuss a topic of your choice for about another 3 minutes, and we'll close voting in about 3 minutes, because I think
Okay.
that's going to cover all of those chat boxes by then.
Okay, and I see we're confirming the vote that way. So, oh, I know, I wanted to discuss the Political Action Committee. It follows our other talk, but you don't mix the two. There's a firewall between discussing airports at the state capitol and supporting someone politically with a PAC donation. And you never mention any PAC donation while you're at the capitol. That is strictly forbidden. But we do have a PAC, and we do find people who are running for office that we would like to support. And it varies from situation to situation. I remember years ago for Oceanside Airport, they were thinking that they would only support the people who were for the airport, whereas I suggested they support everybody running. And afterwards, when other people besides the ones who supported the airport won, the organization, the chapter, was very happy that they had supported everybody, because now everybody had a donation from them and would be willing to listen and perhaps get further donations in the future. But it can be decided on a case-by-case incident. So we have a political action committee in conjunction with the Association of California Airports. And there are 6 people on the board of directors, 3 for each. And we decide on a case-by-case basis how that works. And Walt is in charge. He's our treasurer, and he keeps a separate, completely separate from membership of donations for the Political Action Committee. And he files all the required Political Action Committee forms. So you should be aware of that, and send us nominees so that we, people you think should get some of our PAC money, and we'll consider that at our next meeting. We don't have that list, but we might be able to find one by talking to the treasurer, but we haven't given many donations in the past year, have we, Walt? Unmute.
Yep, I did. No, we have not. There's been very few people have been paid in the last 3 or 4 years. Actually, it hasn't been real active. So,
but we're aiming to change that. So
yes.
Send us your suggestions.
So as council, I get the enjoyable part to announce that with all votes in favor of the slate, the nominees have been elected to the board of CalPilots. There were no dissenting votes registered, so I'm gonna call that a win.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations to our candidates. That would be Patrick, welcome aboard, and Doug, Paul, and Maurice. We're very happy to have you all, and we're going to put you all to work. So thank you so much for agreeing to serve. And if you want to say anything, please do.
This is Maurice. Thank you.
And don't forget, we have a door prize for this section as well when we're wrapping up.
I didn't forget, we're not quite wrapped yet, but we will be. We're looking for the ribbon. So does anyone have anything, Ron? Does anyone have anything they want to add? Okay, so I think that's all our business that we need to take care of. Is that right, Carl?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to wrap ourselves up and we're going to turn ourselves over to Jolie. Always a good move. Thank you, Jolie.
Oh, all righty. So we have ACI Jet is one of our business members, and they've been hugely supportive of CalPilots over the years. And they have FBOs and fuel in Paso Robles, California, San Luis Obispo, Oceano, and Orange County airports. And they donated this fabulous gift basket, actually. And so I'm going to have to look at the list, but here goes. It has 2 bottles of wine, 2 t-shirts, 1 beanie, 1 canvas bag, 1 wine opener, 1 fancy pen, some golf tees and a golf towel, an adjustable hat, and 2 aviation whiskey glasses. And our CalPilots member that won that wonderful gift basket from ACI Jet is Dan Young from Chino, California. Congratulations, Dan.
Yay, Dan.
Congratulations.